Hey guys, welcome to Two Dudes Talking. I'm DJ. That's Dustin. What's up? What's up? All right, let's get right into it. Miocic, Ngannou, bazookas.
Yeah.
The Cameroon bazooka. Call him that. Yeah. Let's break it down. I mean, the last time they fought was in 2018. Miocic, I think, won a very easy decision. I mean, I think it was as easy as it could have been, but since then,
it was closer than people remember. It was closer than people remember.
Yes,
but it's not like he really struggled in order to get that unanimous decision.
Exactly. Good point. I mean, yeah, since 2018, Miocic has fought twice, Daniel Cormier, and then since losing to Miocic, Ngannou has fought 4 times. And destroying all of those in his wake, finishing all of those fights in a total of less than 3 minutes.
Which is ridiculous.
Look, I think it couldn't have happened any better for this matchup to happen, right? With Miocic not really, I mean, being able to hold on to his belt, fighting Cormier, Ngannou kind of climbing his way back. Arguably once you lose, it's hard to get back to a big fight, a big title fight, or just a big fight in general. But he was able to claw his way back. That also says how maybe weak this division is, that there's just not a lot of guys competing for it. But
yeah, I mean, look, I wish Stipe would fight more, but I understand that, he's off being a firefighter. So
yeah,
good for him. And I fully support him being a firefighter. But just from a fan perspective, if you're not going to fight that often, either retire and be a firefighter full time and power to you, or just give up the belt. So I think if he wins or loses, he's retiring.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, a fight with John Jones is interesting, I'm sure, from a monetary perspective. If you're Miocic, right?
But with the back and forth with Bones and bazookas, Miocic obviously didn't really step into that for obvious reasons. He's a belt holder; he doesn't have to.
Yeah, and but I don't think. I mean, that's not his style either.
No, I know. He's just, I'm going to come out and we're going to punch each other. I'm going to take you down, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I would rather see a fight between bazookas and Bones, because I just want to see how Bones handles that type of heavyweight.
I don't think that Francis has the quick feet, quick hips to be able to, defend and offend with his takedowns, right? I think he's a single weapon fighter, right? I mean, the hammers that he has. Yeah. Miocic, on the other hand, is, look, a lot of people call him the greatest all time in terms of heavyweight division. That can absolutely be debated. But let's say he's got striking, he's got takedowns, and he's a Golden Gloves winner, right? I mean, he's no slouch on the feet. So when someone has all of those tools, like in a 5-tool player in baseball, right? He has all the tools. And he also has the smarts, right? He plays chess. He knows where to move within the octagon and where to take his opponent. He showed that in 2018 when he fought Ngannou. He was able to kind of keep his distance, able to take him down, which led to his unanimous decision victory.
Yeah, look, it really is going to be a clash of styles. You have every average Joe fan that loves a slugfest, because it's just exciting. You got two guys trying to knock each other's heads off. Or you could have Stipe, where it's going to be a higher caliber of fighter in the sense of he does have takedown defense. He does have takedowns. He has really technical striking because of, as you mentioned, he's a former Gold Glove winner. So if he wins, I think that him versus Bones would be a higher caliber of fight. You're going to see more technical moves, takedown defense, takedowns, foot stomp, shoulders.
A more complete fight, right?
Yeah, you're going to see a complete fight. But if you see bazookas versus Bones, it could end up just being a slugfest, which, again, for average Joe fan is going to love. And honestly, I haven't really seen a heavyweight slugfest in so long. I forgot what one looks like.
Yeah. I mean, the average fan wants to see a slugfest, wants to see just guys swinging for the fences back and forth. But see, the problem with that, when you have Francis on the other side, I don't think that those will go very long. Those will go
Takes
10
one
seconds.
and you're done.
I don't think that anyone has the chin to be able to go against the hammer, and be able to take the impact of those blows. I mean, just
Oh no, if
no
he
one.
hits you clean once or clips you, for your lights are going on. I don't care how great a fighter you are. I don't
Yeah.
care how great your chin is. And that's most heavyweights. Most heavyweights have cement mixers for hands, as everybody knows. But I mean, look, I think Stipe. I'm rooting for Bazookas just because I want to see some rollover in the heavyweights. Kind of want to see what happens, but I still think that Stipe is going to win. He's going to use takedowns. He's probably going to leg kicks. He's going to avoid like he did. I don't really see him truthfully exchanging with Ngannou, just
Mhm.
because I don't see that going well for anybody. It hasn't worked out yet,
Right.
really. But I see him, can soften him up, go to the body, get some takedowns, ground and pound, or try to submit him and go from there. I don't see it going the distance unless Stipe decides I'm going to just sit on you and just work
Yeah.
enough not to get us stood up.
Look, Vegas sees Ngannou winning.
Yeah,
They
well,
have
yeah,
him
of
as
course
the
they do.
favorite, which, yeah, to me, that's the easy way out. That's the easy analyst way out. Is you see these two guys fighting, you go, man, I really like what Francis Ngannou's doing. I don't see this going any differently. But then when you really, really look at it, right, from a real fighter analysis perspective, how can you discount what Miocic is? I mean, Stipe has every time gotten better and better. And it's not the most exciting fighter to watch, not the most exciting personality, which we know where the UFC's leaning. We know where the UFC wants this fight to go. They want
bones and bazookas.
they want their Mike Tyson. Like, this guy could potentially be their Mike Tyson. And that's what they're hoping for. Miocic wins, it is Dana White's worst heavyweight nightmare for the Saturday, right? It just is.
No, it depends what Miocic does after he wins. If he wins and said, I've had a great run, this has been amazing, I'm done, then Dana's going to be like, this is the greatest night ever. You won. And then my next fight that I get to set up with bazookas and bones is for the belt, a vacant belt.
Yeah. I mean, that would be, I guess, the best case scenario, because look, I think if Miocic wins, it would be interesting to see him go into boxing and figure that out, because I know that he'd like to fight, Tyson Fury and test his, mettle there. Yeah, hey, that's a tough ask for anyone. But I know he wants to test himself, in boxing and see what could have been, right? And we also know that in boxing you can make significantly more money than you can in MMA. Even if it's a mid-tier fight, you could make more than if you were a champion. So that will be interesting. I think that's what happens. The way it's prediction time. This is my prediction. It's going to go Miocic. It's going to go 5 rounds. It's going to be another decision. Yeah, I think the first round they're going to feel each other out. Miocic is going to avoid, try to stay close or far, but he's going to try to stay out of that.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to
strike
stay in punching
zone,
range.
right? He's going to be, either inside trying to get the takedown, or way outside, just kind of moving around in circles to kind of feel him out. But I think it goes the distance because I think Miocic is going to be able to take him down. I don't think Ngannou has anything on the mat. And I think it'll be an easy ground and pound day. If there is a finish, I also see it's going to be Miocic ground and pounding. What about yourself?
Yeah, no,
what do you
if
think?
there's a finish like that, I see it Miocic with either sub, unlikely due to Ngannou's just raw strength.
And it's hard
or
to
ground and pound where he,
grab
he
that
clips
anaconda
him somehow or gets him on a takedown. and assuming Ngannou still has next to no defense on the ground compared to Miocic, then, ground and pound, old school Tito Ortiz, and it's over.
Yeah.
But I don't see it going 5.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to like want.
It's really difficult. I mean, I wanted
a
to go
lot
5,
has
and I
changed since 2018 in both of these fighters.
Oh,
so
God. I wanted to go 5 because I want a good fight. I don't want it to go 5 and have it be like he took him down and sat on him for 4 minutes. Or, he took him down and like tried to submit him, but not really. He was just really sitting on him for 4 minutes in round 2. Like, how boring is that? Or Ngannou's just chasing him around the ring, like trying to get in range for 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, takedown. Okay, there's the round.
Nobody's stupid enough to try to like go toe for toe.
Well, that's what I understand that, but I just don't want to see him circle. Oh, there's like 30 seconds left. Takedown. Okay, I won that round.
Yeah.
But I'll say 3 rounds. I'll say it goes 3.
Okay. 3, and then who are you going with? You going?
I'll go Stipe. I mean, I really want bazookas, but I just think Stipe is he's a much more complete fighter.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's MMA. It's not.
It's not boxing.
It's not backyard brawl.
It's not Muay Thai.
Right. It's like if this was a Kimbo Slice backyard brawl back in Florida, where that they're just swinging for the fences, then of course I'm going to take Francis. But I just, like I said, I don't see it going that way either. So I think we're in agreement there that it's going to be and still.
As we all know, Stipe could accidentally walk into something that he just didn't see coming, and it's over. But that's the heavyweight division overall. One punch, and all of a sudden it's like, well, that was fun.
Yeah. Let's move on. Big announcement. Well, I don't know. I guess it's a big announcement.
It's a big announcement for the people that have been fans longer than 5 freaking seconds. You, me, others.
Yeah. And Miesha Cupcake Tate is back. She's fighting Marion Renault. Who's 9-7.
If you don't know who Cupcake is, just go watch some highlights. Was a great fighter. Got destroyed by Ronda.
Good wrestling.
Great wrestling. Got destroyed by Ronda.
Yeah.
But there's the argument on if she took that fight seriously or not. So.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think she did. I think that she underestimated Rousey, but.
Everybody did. It was one-dimensional fighter. They all just walked into it, got tossed over the falls, and then it was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she claims that she has the antidote for Amanda Nunes.
Oh, crap. You know what the antidote for Amanda Nunes is? Hoping she retires before you have to fight her.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Miesha is probably the second best fighter in the female whatever division, any division.
Well, she was, but we'll see because she hasn't fought in a while. She could be. Yeah. We'll see how she comes out in her first 2 fights.
I don't think she ever stopped really kind of being training. I mean, she's had the kid. I mean, so there's that. But I mean, I don't think she's ever stopped training, even though when she took that executive position with ONE FC, whatever she was doing, but in Asia.
There's always ring rust when you're gone for any extended period of time, injury, motherhood, whatever it happens to be.
Old age.
So, Father Time's undefeated.
Yeah. So exactly.
She could come out and look amazing and smoke the first opponent, and then how's she doing her second fight? That's the real question. Like the first fight, okay, ring rust, you'll see how she does. She's getting her feet back in the ring, great. But then the second fight, it's like, okay, you've had a fight under you, you know what this is again. Let's see what you do.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I enjoyed watching her fight.
I mean, I think she's one fight away from waiting for a title contention based on who's really in that division with her. So if she has a good showing.
She's got to come out and win, and then I think they give her one more fight just to get back, in real in-ring shape. I understand she's probably been training her tail off.
Yeah.
But you give her 2 fights to be like, all right, you back, you're good, you understand what this is again. All right, here you go.
Yeah. Look, when I saw the announcement, I fully thought it was a Bellator signing. I was like, when I saw Miesha Tate's back, I'm like, oh, Bellator signed her. Of course 100%. They did. But no, Scott Coker did not strike again on this. I don't know what Misha's contract was with the UFC when she did walk away. She might have had a couple fights left on her contract. Then they just might be just,
Dusting it off
renewing
and say,
that, dusting it off
resign this.
and saying, hey, we own you for a couple more fights if you want to come back. So she's like, okay, I'll come back, collect a couple paychecks, fight a couple.
Well, she might not have ever officially retired.
500 fighters.
She might have never officially retired. And if she didn't, then you could just pull it out of the mothballs or whatever they have it and go, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely, I mean, I'm sure there was some kind of ease of coming back. It seemed natural. Look, but
I'm excited to watch her in the ring again. I enjoyed many of her fights, both in the UFC and pre-UFC.
Yeah. So staying on women's sports, one last topic I want to talk about is, it's old news now because it happened a couple days ago, but the women's NCAA tourney and the men's tourney is happening, right? And the gyms, like
not where I thought you were going.
Look, the fact is, the women's side can't use the March Madness logo, can't refer to their tournament as March Madness.
So dumb.
It is basically a haves and have-nots. Their gym was yoga mats and a small soccer
tree of free weights
weight rack, right? I mean,
like an A-frame of free weights.
Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like I said, you find that in like a soccer mom's garage, right?
Oh yeah.
And it was a total disgrace. They fixed it. They realized, but they only fixed it because they were called out on social media. Steph Curry and then Sports Center jumped all over it.
Everybody jumped on it.
Everybody did. They should have. And look, there's the grand debate about equal pay for women's sports versus men's sports. There's the debate about ratings and interest in the public eye in terms of male sports versus women's sports. Look, I don't have to pull out the ratings reports to show people just aren't interested in women's sports. They just aren't. We don't need to go down that road right now. We can have a nice, healthy debate about it with real numbers. But that doesn't mean that you get to treat the women so differently, right? Like, I feel like there's still athletes, there's still top flight athletes from big schools. They deserve to have, if not equal facilities, some pretty good ones at least. I mean, the fact is, when you look at the male facilities versus the female facilities, it was just so bad. It was just so bad, and it was sad to see.
No, I 100% agree with you. And yes, the ratings, the money brought in conversation is completely separate from this. Now, the weight rooms did not need to be identical because they just don't need to be, but they should have been comparable. They should have had the same opportunities to work out however they so want or choose while they're at the first, second round or wherever that pathetic gym was, as the men. So if they wanted to use a treadmill or elliptical, arc trainer, stationary bike, bench, squat rack, whatever, pull-up bar, I'm probably missing 1,000 types of workout equipment that the men might not had, or just your average gym has. They should have had it. Like, if the men have a squat rack, the women have a squat rack. Not that difficult. The men have a stationary bike, the women have a stationary bike.
Yeah.
Not that hard. The whole thing you can't refer to as March Madness, so it's a completely separate conversation we talk about another time, because that drives me bananas. Really? Like, just don't, you know what I'm saying? And now screw it. Why can they not?
I'm sure, as Wilbon will say, it's the marketing people that screw sports up.
I believe it, but the NCAA owns the freaking tournament. It is the NCAA championship.
Yeah.
It's the NCAA championship for the women. It's women's March Madness. It's men's March Madness.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Yeah.
Or just take March Madness away and just call it the women's tournament and the men's tournament.
Again, the NCAA continues to screw things up, continues just to get in their own way and show that they just are an old, out of touch organization. They're just so out of touch. They just don't get it. And
Well, it's a voluntary member institution. In case nobody knows that, the schools can go, we're not a member anymore. Yes,
yeah,
they'd lose money and certain things, but if enough schools got together and formed their own thing, they'd be
yeah.
fine. I mean, obviously, it'd have to be bigger schools. You're not going to find like a Division III school that's going to be like, I'm leaving.
I think it's time for the Big Five conferences to bail on the NCAA,
Yeah,
figure
I think
something out together. There needs to be something in a reimagining of an organization. I mean, I
well, I
think
think
that or
yeah.
an organization's needed. Let's not be coy about this. Schools cheat, athletes cheat, things are shady. You need an overarching organization, right? But it's
Yeah.
apparent that the NCAA has not figured out how to make it work.
Oh,
So
look, I think the bigger schools and the bigger conferences in terms of football are going to force a new, I'll say member institution, but whatever, to
yeah,
happen because there's too much money for them to gain by leaving, where they can negotiate their own TV deals,
yeah,
for either the conference and not have to share it
yeah.
or however the hell that would work. Come on, bye.
I mean, the fact that Notre Dame can go out there and do whatever the hell they want, right?
Exactly.
And I know they are Notre Dame, but like the fact that they can do that and then all these other schools cannot. I mean, no, I think it's time to change. And I don't want to be Trumpian about it and calling them a disaster and saying we need to leave them,
Well, there just has to
but
be something better that they could develop. It might take a
yeah,
few years and it's going to hurt for a little while as you get it going. But I mean,
yeah,
Texas has its own network, but I'm sure there's some profit sharing that they have with the rest of the conference and or the NCAA that's
yeah.
mandatory.
No, there's the
Notre Dame,
SEC
I think it's
network,
just,
there's the Pac-12 network,
yeah,
there's
it's a Pac-12 network. Yeah.
yeah, I mean SEC. There's all the Big 12. There everybody has them. It's just like
Yeah.
I said. It's the NCAA as a governing board is it has failed, just failed on it. In every twist and turn has failed. So it's
Yeah.
time to move
Look,
on. But
here's one thing that I think needs to happen, and I hate having to think this because I wish there was a fix. They need to cut back on sports that they support. So, the sports can still exist. They'll just be at the club level. The school can still have them. They'll just be at a club level. It won't be a, NCAA varsity, whatever they're calling it now, sport. So,
mhm.
you'll still have football, basketball, baseball, men and women's soccer, women's softball is still pretty big, obviously. Or, the sports that are of that echelon where there's tons of money. And then maybe you just, and maybe this is the solution in winning if they branch off,
Yeah,
make everything else a club sport. I mean, I don't have the solution. I would have to sit down and look at every number if then anybody wanted to give me and try and come up with one. So I'm completely guessing at what does and does not make money.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, as we all know, it's the almighty dollar that will drive it. And once they figure out how to make more of it, if they can make more of it without NCAA, that's what they'll do. They
I
can
mean,
say we can
simply
make more
put,
without you.
it's the football programs make money, all other programs don't. I mean, I'm sure there's very
Yeah,
few basketball programs that do, but for the most part, I would say that 95% plus, it's all football programs, and those are the ones that need to drive these decisions. Unfortunately, that's also where a lot of the cheating and more nefarious things take place. But
yeah.
we could talk all evening about that.
Hey, we could all guess and come up with
Yeah,
plans. That was my hypothetical plan with no knowledge. If somebody has more knowledge than me, for the love of God, tell me, or tell him, he'll tell me because
yeah,
I'm guessing here.
yeah. I don't know. You got anything else?
Uh, no, spring training still happening. Syracuse is still live in March Madness or the men's tournament, whatever we're calling it now, thankfully.
Baseball
Yeah,
analyzing spin rates on pitches.
yeah, to tell if they're cheating, which I think is the most interesting and the dumbest use of that I've seen so far. Because how do you account if like Max Scherzer was working all off season on
Mhm.
the velocity on his curveball, and that's
Which they
all he
all
worked
are,
on.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was all or drop on his curveball, not velocity. Sorry. he's working on his release. He's working on his release point to make sure it comes out of his hand cleaner. And all of a sudden he picks up 20, whatever it is, RPMs or whatever they're calling it. And all of a sudden you're like, well, you're cheating. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I mean, look, the NFL after Deflategate basically created a whole new system in which the balls were held and watched over by an NFL official person, whatever. You know what? Maybe those balls don't go into the dugouts anymore. They you don't get the teams don't have any close access to these balls. Maybe it's an MLB thing and not a home team thing when they prep baseballs, and that's it. I mean,
Actually, that's a good idea.
how hard does it have to be?
Well, usually they're not. Typically there's
Because right,
exceptions.
doesn't the home team prep the baseballs, or at least each team does?
Yeah. Yes, they do. But typically they're not complaining about the baseball itself being doctored. It's, they're using Vaseline, they're using stickum, and they're using rosin, they're using something that's altering their fingers. I mean, yes, it gets on the ball then, but it's not like they're taking sandpaper all around the ball. Typically, it has happened though, all around the ball just for the home team, and then like that's the ball they're pitching with.
Well, when they do
right
prep, but when they do prep these balls, they're adding dirt,
oh yeah,
they're breaking them in some way. But yes, adding stickum or tar or any of those other, right?
Actually, no. Most baseballs are actually just straight out of the box into the bag of balls that they use per game.
Are you sure?
Typically,
I swear I saw a video where they were interviewing the kid who preps the balls, and there's a massage process that takes place. I'll find this and send it to you.
That's news to me.
Where they're basically, because the ball isn't perfectly white, right? Like it has a little bit of dirt to it. But I'll find it and send it to you. I'll add the link down below.
Undoctored, by the way.
And find this, because I know that there's some sort of prep, but yes, regardless of that, I mean, yes, preventing the guys on the mound from actually cheating. Yeah. But you know what? The umps need to be a little bit more resilient, or a little bit more. They need to pay attention.
Yeah. Look, here's what it's really for.
I mean, you can see it.
No, for sure. What they're trying to do, and baseball's working on, is they're trying to eliminate the home run, strikeout, and or walk issue, because those are pretty much the only three things that are happening in baseball right now. The singles, doubles, and triples are pretty much dead.
Yeah,
they're going to outlaw the shift.
Yeah, which they should.
Outlaw, or hitters should learn to go the other freaking way. Then they would stop shifting on you. I'm sorry, if you put one guy on the left side or right side of the infield for me, guess where I'm putting the ball? And go ahead, keep shifting. I'll keep getting singles all day. My average will be like 8,000, 800, whatever. I mean, first, go the other way. I understand that. Well, how many times have you seen a guy rip one into right field and the second baseman is standing mid-right field and catches it? I'm like, and how many times have you seen a guy go against the shift and hit it the other way? And it's an easy double because there's one guy over there.
Yeah.
So I blame the hitters. As far as I'm concerned, they can put every fielder on one side of the field if they want to, because the hitter needs to learn to be a complete hitter. You shouldn't just be a pull hitter.
Yeah.
If you weren't a pull hitter, they wouldn't be shifting on you.
Right.
Not that hard to figure out. The hitters need to correct for what is going on. They should not outlaw the shift. They're going to. They should not do it. They should tell hitters, you need to learn to hit the other direction. Or
no, we look, we know why they implement these changes. I mean, they're trying to make fast changes quickly, because their sport is quickly dying, right? And they need to make these changes now. Yes, you know what? In the future, you make these rule changes, then you're forcing kids at the little league level to start to develop all those skills that you're saying.
Well, yeah, but then they can become pull hitters because now there are only two guys on the right side of the infield or left, whatever.
Right.
So you just busted that.
Yeah.
I mean, here's how you really fix it. You could fix it in about, nobody wants to do it. Stop paying for home runs.
Well, yeah.
If the guy hits 40 home runs but bats 212, Pay him a lot less than the guy who hits 313, but it's like 5 home runs. And watch what happens. The hitters will adjust. I promise you. As soon as you hit their paychecks and their wallets, they're like, oh, I need to learn how to hit, not like hit bombs. All right.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. They just don't want to do it because, as baseball had an advertising campaign years ago, chicks dig the long ball.
They sure do.
And what brought baseball back from the steroid era was anybody?
Yeah,
Anybody? Oh yeah, the
McGwire and
McGwire
Sosa,
Sosa home
right.
run chase.
Exactly.
It wasn't a guy going for, don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of that because seeing records broken is fantastic.
Yeah.
I had the McGwire hat, but I was more interested in Ichiro's like hits record when he broke George Sizzler's record. It was like, Jesus Christ, you know how hard that is to get that many hits in one season?
Right.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. But
so yeah, baseball has a problem. Well, a lot of sports have a problem. NFL has one too, but baseball definitely has one.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything else? You sell your game stock, your game stock yet?
Nah, I never bought any.
No.
Save myself the trouble.
Yeah. Well, to the moon,
the only other
guys.
thing I had was, did you see the hockey ref that got fired, even though he was going to retire in April?
Yes. Yeah.
A penalty.
Look, it's something that we know that all refs do in all sports, right?
God, yeah.
I mean, look, even I did it when I was a ref in a high school league. Like back when I was a ref on a high school league, I'm like, I got to call a foul on this team because I need to make up for one that I did that I called by mistake that I can't pull back on. So I got to make it up. It happens at all levels. You just don't say it out loud, especially now where microphones and cameras are everywhere. You just can't do it.
You know where you could say that? When you're back in the comfort of your own home and your phone is in a different room and you have like no cameras or anything in the room. You don't have an Alexa or a smart speaker. And then you could say, I just really wanted to call a penalty on Nashville early. Then you can go,
those kind of thoughts stay up here, like when
tweets,
when you
way,
do it,
stay up there.
Yeah. It's like, look, how many times have I seen an ump or a ref kind of give like the nod and the wink? Like, I know. I've seen you watch the NBA, it happens. Like there's a wink and a nod that happens. So, but they don't say it out loud.
They also don't call traveling in the NBA anymore, but whatever.
Yeah. One of the many things that's wrong with the NBA. But anyway, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I'm sure I could think of some bull crap, but no, NBA trade deadline was today. A whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, Lowry stayed in Toronto, so everything me, everything else is inconsequential because Lowry was the big
Aaron
piece.
Gordon got traded.
Who
the guy
cares?
from the Magic dunk a lot. He was a good dunker. He's a good dunker.
I mean, yeah.
I do have a random question for you though.
Orlando's not really even a team.
Well, yeah. Be careful. I think they got Disney on their thing.
They do.
Just saying. Random question, semi-sports related. Mighty Ducks TV show releases tomorrow. I don't know if it's all of it or one episode. Are you watching?
No. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real talk here. I've never seen one of those movies.
Oh, fuck you. Seriously?
Never seen one of the movies. Didn't
you
interest
Hulu,
me.
Right? I know what you're watching tonight.
Because you know what? I'm not a hockey guy. I'm just not. It's a foreigner sport. No, look, it's just not a sport for me. I'm just not, I like going to the games. I mean, I enjoy sitting there,
live sports.
Yeah. I mean, it's all live sports, but hockey never interested me. And those movies never interested me. I mean, honestly, Emilio Estevez outside of Young Guns doesn't interest me.
So good in Young Guns.
So good. I mean,
Men at
look,
Work when he acted with his brother.
Yes, and then that movie too. But look, I mean, if we're gonna talk, shows coming out, I guess National Treasure is gonna have a show on Disney Plus one day.
Yep.
Jerry Bruckheimer has signed on. Yeah. So there's some things. Did you watch? Or last thing, did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No, they didn't drop all of it, right? It's only one episode so far?
One episode. So you're waiting for all 6 eps.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, I will, but I'm going to wait. I watched WandaVision though.
All right. We'll talk about that on another episode. We'll focus just on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. All right. Last thing just for you, because I don't know if you know this yet. So rumor is they're actually going to reboot or redo Major League as a movie, as a feature.
About that. Is it Paramount or somebody like that?
I have no idea. Whoever the hell made the first one. It's been a while since I actually watched opening credits to a movie. Sorry.
So this is the first time I'm hearing about it. And I'm having the same feeling I had when I heard they were remaking Point Break. I'm heartbroken. I'm sad for it because
Utah, get me too.
Because we kind of run out of ideas. Why do we have to
that
remake
happened
it?
years ago? Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I feel about that because I love Major League. So,
did you watch all 3 Major Leagues or just the first one?
well, I watched them all.
The third one was not great.
No. But they never truly are. But
second one wasn't bad for what it was.
You can't make these you can't remake a lot of these movies because the sensibilities or the comedic sensibilities of then to now are completely different. So you just it's just yeah. It's like Coming to America too. It was a bunch of hot garbage.
It was. There's so many jokes. Well, first of all, the writing's going to be different, obviously, because there's so many jokes and even moments from the first one that you cannot get away with now.
Yeah.
As an example, when they're on that losing streak and they all hate the owner and they bring in, the pull cutout thing where they start taking pieces off. There's no way in hell that's ever happened.
No. I think that, like I said, the comedic sensibilities have changed, and the things that made that movie good and great aren't going to be in this one. I don't think you can do it. There's sports content out there that's very good without having to do the gross guy humor, like Ted Lasso. Great show. You don't like it? I love Ted Lasso. Have you watched? How many episodes have you watched?
Half. I got bored.
So it gets like a lot of these, you have to watch a couple episodes. I feel like it's like WandaVision. You have to get through the first 4 episodes, right? I mean, if you don't get through those, you're not going to continue on, and you're going to miss a lot of good stuff. I feel like Ted Lasso is the same thing. Mythic Quest, amazing. But anyway, getting back to sports content, I mean, I feel like you're going to get a Ted Lasso, right? You're going to get good, solid, entertaining, but it's just not going to be kind of comedic and raunchy like those other films were.
That's any movie from back. I say back then, like it was eons ago, but that era rather. It's just,
and maybe I'm a Neanderthal in thinking that I need some raunch in my films, right? But I kind of do. Like I kind of need that to laugh.
Well, yes, but movies and TV media like that is supposed to be where you go to escape reality.
Right.
That's why it's on a screen. It's make believe.
Yeah. I like comedy that's a little bit wrong.
Once upon a time well, yeah. I mean, go watch stand-up comedy of pretty much any comic in the 80s, 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, watch a George Carlin skit. Let me know what happens.
Right, because you want to escape your woke PC reality that we live in.
It's about it. Look, comedy, to me anyway, is about being a little bit uncomfortable. Because and you're laughing, hopefully, because you find it funny, but it's also about the comedian or the show, movie, whatever, kind of challenging you, going, that's kind of funny, but I know I'm not supposed to laugh at it, but it's the way they're doing it's kind of funny. So what do I do?
Yeah. Look, I mean, we all need a little racial humor, and we just need it. I mean, we need to take things a little bit lighter. Right now, things are just so damn heavy. And
I mean, watch a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are never getting remade ever.
They can't, and they shouldn't.
First of all, they never should, because they're great. But
yeah,
could you imagine them making Blazing Saddles now?
No,
never had.
But you know what's, staying on Mel Brooks real quick, just to finish it off. His son is an amazingly smart political mind. If you have not ever listened to him talk, he's been on Bill Maher a ton. He's just very witty, very smart. He's written a couple books. But he's a pretty good political mind.
Does he have Brooks as a last name, or is it different?
Yeah, it's Brooks.
No, I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, look him up. I recommend his writing. Very, very good. Very, very sharp guy. And he has a little bit of his dad's, comedic sensibilities.
Well, that's good because his dad is a comedy genius.
Exactly. But anyway, anything else before we get out of here?
We could talk for hours about nothing, so it's fine.
All right. We covered it all. UFC, baseball, women in sports, equal pay, equal whatever, equal everything. Let us know what you think. Comment below. Talk to us. Peace. We out.
Yeah, somebody tell me the thing with the sports numbers so we can figure out what the hell makes money and doesn't.